From the entertainment capital of the world, it's Brighton Your Night with Barbara Brighton. And now our guests, Clint Holmes and Kelly Clinton. Here's Barbara.
Hi everybody, welcome to Brighton Your Night. Coming to you today from the beautiful Blue Dragon Studios right here in Las Vegas. And you know, it's always a thrill for me to interview my very good friends when I've seen them on stage and getting to know them on a personal basis. They are happily married and they both have very successful careers. My wonderful friend Clint Holmes was nominated for 2 Grammys for his CD, Rendezvous. Can't wait to hear about that later. And was also the host of his own show on WRTV in New York, Late Night in New York, right? And he was also the sidekick to my Can We Talk friend, Late Night with Joan Rivers on Fox TV. And Kelly, his gorgeous wife, is multi-talented. There's like so much to say. She was nominated for a prestigious Bella Award and was a winner in America's Funniest People. She was nominated 2001, 2012, 2011, take that back, by Broadway World for Best Comedic Actress. Kelly and Clint, let's meet them.
Aw, thanks, Barbara.
Nice intros.
Wonderful.
Except for a few boo-boos. I am so happy to be with my friends, Kelly and Clint. But anyway, I want to start with my wonderful friend Clint, who I've known forever, but we're not going to mention years because we don't do that. But the first time I heard you, I was on Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and you were in Puerto Rico performing with my friend Laura Yeager, and I thought you were sensational then. Do you remember those days,
I
Clint?
do. I remember Laura Yeager.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember Laura?
Yeah.
From
Boy,
New York.
but I wasn't on the ship. I was performing in probably at the Condado Hilton
Right,
or the,
exactly.
something like that.
I was on the ship.
Yeah.
And we docked there, and I went to see you and loved you ever since.
Thank you.
But you know, I wanted to tell the audience who doesn't know your background, where you came from. I know you were born in England.
Yeah.
Bump
So
in.
I was born in England. Yes.
Yeah.
My mom was a British opera singer, and my dad was a Black American jazz singer. And they met in England during World War II. And shortly after the war, we came over to the States. So I've lived here my whole life. But the influence of both parents being singers, and not only being singers, but being so distant, you know, being opera and jazz. You know, I grew up, my sister and I both grew up hearing all of it, hearing all the music, which gave us, I think, an advantage as we realized that the only thing we knew how to do was sing. You know, it gave us the advantage of being able to love all kinds of music. So, you know, that's the background.
So it started with your dad.
And Mom.
Did they sing together at all?
No.
No. But two
Not that I remember. I don't remember them
such
ever singing.
diverse styles.
Yeah, yeah.
Jazz and opera.
Right.
You know, wow.
Well, that's what I mean. I got to hear all of it. My mom would play her opera,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my dad would play his jazz. I think my dad had the bigger influence because I fell in love with that music.
And he took you to jazz clubs too,
Yeah, he
right?
did. He did.
Yeah, and was that sort of the basis of where, you know, you got
Well,
most of your
There's a club
jazz stuff?
there's a club in Buffalo. It's still there, called the Colored Musicians Club. It is now a landmark, and my dad used to take me there to jam sessions when I was, I don't know, 12 years old, something like that. They had jam sessions on Sunday afternoons.
12? You could go into a club?
Yeah, I know. I'd have a Coca-Cola and sit, yeah, right.
Really?
But I fell in love with the music. It was the whole atmosphere of the place, you know. We lived in a town, Farnham, New York, 400 people, you know, and then we'd go into Buffalo to this club, and it was like, for me, going to Disneyland. You know, it was so different from where I lived, who I knew, how I saw my dad. It was a huge influence, and that is why we called the album Rendezvous.
And you do that in your big show too. That when you were with Earl Turner at the Westgate, you had a wonderful segment where you did Rendezvous, right? The name of the club. I loved it.
Yeah, I do that in my act a lot, and in the theater piece that I'm writing, it'll be a centerpiece of that's too.
Yeah, I just want to take one moment. I know you know all this, Kelly, but you wrote a great show called Comfortable Shoes. Was that what that was all about?
I wrote it with Nelson Cole, who's my co-writer.
Is that about your family?
Pardon me, yes.
That's what I
It
thought.
literally it went from the day my mom and dad met all the way up to that. Now this is 1996 when it was written. A lot has happened since 1996 to now. But
you have produced that before, though, right?
it's been done in New Jersey, Chicago, North Carolina, and here in Las Vegas. Yeah.
But you want to get it on Broadway.
Well, I want to get it off Broadway. It's going to be a one-man show now.
Oh.
It's going to be me and a band.
Okay.
So
you evolved.
well, we've evolved into reality.
No money.
It's well, it's I
Yeah.
mean, the Broadway shows are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. I think it's more realistic to get it up in its form. And if we were lucky enough to be successful, we can always open it up and take it to
But that's
Broadway.
your dream, right? We all have dreams, and yours is there.
Yeah.
Even though I started on Broadway, I have evolved into so many other areas,
Sure.
as we all know. But that's your passion, and we
well,
all
it's
have
one
a
of the
passion,
things.
right?
One of the things we all have to do as entertainers and artists is reinvent ourselves.
Right. Right.
I mean, even the biggest stars that we know continue to reinvent themselves.
Yeah. Look at Madonna.
Yeah, that's a
She's
great example.
still going. She started with the Cones, and now she's probably back to
Back to the Cones.
I know. I wanted to talk 1 second about your hit in 1973, "Playground in My Mind,"
Yeah.
because this was a huge, and you've updated that many times. in
Yeah,
your
I've
show.
sung it. I wish I had counted how many times I've sung that song.
You made it very rock and roll and stuff like that,
Well,
too.
yeah, we've done,
Right?
I don't know. We've just done it. It keeps it fresh. Tom Jones does that too. I mean, all of his hits.
Yeah.
If you go see Tom Jones, he'll sing the same songs, but they'll all be different.
Yeah.
To keep sane.
Well, but you have to, because the millennials don't understand that what we're doing, and we don't understand what they're doing. So let me just segue to your gorgeous wife. I am so excited. Honestly, they are. The other day I saw you guys dancing, and it made my heart beat. It was so beautiful, because they're happily married and both successful at what they do. So I'm just interested in how do you balance that, Kel?
How do we balance the
marriage and the career.
Oh my goodness! Well,
And JoJo.
And JoJo, who is our dog,
JoJo
by
gives
the
us
way,
balance.
for those. Actually, it's
Instead of
really
having
true.
a child, you have JoJo.
She changed our lives. We have a baby now, and well, we both are so supportive of each other. That's what probably really what brought us together, was that we had so much in common, and it was easy to understand. It's kind of a crazy life, as you know.
So how did you meet?
We met through our best friends, actually. My best friend is Lena Prima, who's a great performer, entertainer, and Clint's best friend is
Louis Prima's
daughter.
daughter.
Yes, we should say that.
Yeah.
But Bill Fain is Clint's best friend, and was his musical director for over 35 years. So they became friends, Lena and Bill, and she brought me to the show, and of course I knew who Clint was because of television, and I didn't know he did Playground in My Mind until I was sitting right in the audience.
How could you have missed that?
I don't know. I said, oh my gosh, this
huge
is the
hit.
guy who did Playground in My Mind. I roller skated to that.
Hold on.
I forgot to mention
We're going to
that.
take a break, and I want to hear more about the love and sex. We'll be right back. And who dropped in? President Trump.
Here I am. Is this exciting?
Oh, no, I don't think so. But
I have to tell you how lucky you are to have me on the show. You're
Really?
so honored to have me here.
Oh
It's
my
incredible.
God! Let's talk about some hot topics, President, because you're so busy.
I'm so
and you
busy.
took
By the way,
time out of your
this is
schedule.
going to be your most highly rated show.
Oh my
Millions
God.
and millions of people.
Really?
You're going to break all the records.
Oh,
break all
really?
yes,
Really?
just like let's take my rallies.
Can we talk? Let me talk about your rallies.
Oh, I like that.
Why
you
why
remind me
is
of
it that
Joan. You remind me of Joan.
But I'm a
on
what?
The Apprentice. On The Apprentice. When
Right,
Joan
I
was on
won.
the
I won.
You won. You
Oh my
won.
God, but
on
you
the
win.
number
You think
one
you're always
rated
winning.
reality
Winning,
show
winning,
of
winning.
all time.
Winning,
the number
winning,
one
winning.
show. Number one show. NBC should be thanking me. They should be thanking me. Just like you. You should be thanking me for having you on
Thank
your
you,
show.
Dr. Trump, Mr. Trump,
Well, I like
Donald
that.
Trump.
Dr.
Thank
Trump.
you very much.
I like that.
Dr. Trump?
That's good. I like
Oh,
that
really?
very much.
You are-
Very much. Dr.
And
Trump.
you never lie. I mean, you are just so
No, why would I
honest.
lie? Everything's so tremendous. Greatest president in the history of presidents, other than the
Yes.
late great Abe Lincoln, whose wife was maybe a 3. Maybe a 3 on a good day. Married Todd.
But
not
your
very
inauguration
attractive.
was absolutely
Largest
humongous,
audience ever
right?
on TV and
Really?
live. Yes,
Oh my God.
Sean Spicer said it, so
Oh
it
my
must be
God.
true.
Must be true.
Absolutely.
What do you think about Sarah Sanders?
I think she does a tremendous job. She's so incredible. And Mike, her dad, is a great guy.
Of course.
He's a great guy. And everything's going great. You have to admit, greatest economy in the history of the economy. Unemployment's the lowest among
Is anything
every
bad
single...
with you, President
no,
Trump?
not at all. Everything's great. That's why I'm going to win.
Really?
That's why I'm going to win in
Why?
2020. And to ensure my win,
Yes.
we're going to get rid of the Electoral College and
that's
replace
good.
it with Trump University.
Oh.
Trump University.
Didn't we already have a problem with Trump
No,
University?
that's why we're going to bring it back. Everyone's
What?
going to get a
Cut
free
it out?
class.
Really? What happened? What? Trump University.
Trump University.
You were
that's right.
sued.
I wasn't sued.
You
I
were-
wasn't sued. That's fake
Trump
news.
University was
That's
sued.
fake news.
Would you
That's
please tell
fake
me what
news.
fake news is?
It's fake news. It's
I've had enough. That's enough, President Trump. Hi, everybody. I'm back. I think Kelly reminded me that we were talking about love and sex. But, I don't know which to talk about first because neither is in my life, but I'm getting it today. Yeah, I wanted to talk to Kelly about America's funniest people, and you are so incredible. Did you know that in New York, I lived where Carol Burnett lived, and now she's one of your heroines. I lived at the Rehearsal Club in New York when I first moved, 53rd and 6th. And I lived with Blythe Danner also, who was Gwyneth Paltrow's mom.
Yes.
We had a wonderful, we were all budding actresses, and we had a bulletin board where we put like auditions and everything, and if we got a phone call, this is funny, and those times we had payphones, and I lived on the second, they go, Barbara Brighton, and they'd shout up your name, you have a message, and that's how you knew to come down 3 flights of stairs, and you had, we had Ruby, who was like, a cleaning lady, and we went to psychics, we did it all at the Rehearsal Club. But Carol Burnett put that on the map, and she had a big play called Stage Door that she did downstairs. Now, why is she one of your heroines? Because I know you're crazy as a loon.
You know I'm crazy.
And I love
My
it. And
goodness.
Lucille Ball, because,
Same thing.
everybody, look at how gorgeous she is. You would never think characters are part of her life. She doesn't care what any, you just.
Well, that is what attracted me to Carol Burnett. Was I saw the show and I saw her being crazy characters and didn't worry about trying to look pretty. She looked pretty, and then she didn't look pretty, and she would do anything for the scene, the sketch, and then she would have singers and celebrity guests, and they would do production numbers. So I knew that's what I wanted to do. I was probably 7 years old when I saw the show, and so I feel like I am living my dream because I am doing that. I do shows with my friend Elisa right now. And we do sketch comedy in the show.
We're going
and
to talk
we
about
sing.
that. At the moment, she's at Alexis Park with the First Ladies of Vegas with Elisa. My mouth
Fiorello,
doesn't work today.
It's okay, my
Elisa
mouth doesn't
Fiorello
work either.
Deese. Why does she have 3 names? Is that her married
Well,
name?
it's the same as me, Kelly Clinton.
Kelly Clinton. Oh, yeah, Kelly
Holmes.
Clinton Holmes.
So she's Elisa Fiorello.
This
Deese,
is
but
interesting.
It's
You
a
married
trend.
a name, your name is Clinton. His
I
name is
know.
Clint.
I know.
Holmes.
I know.
Holmes.
That's-
Did that have anything? In Jewish, we call that bashert, meant to be.
Meant
That's
to be.
really weird.
I know that is, it's crazy. And I always think, was my dad up there in heaven going,
Isn't
I'm
that
working it
weird?
out, I got the guy.
Is that weird?
It is weird because his name is really Clinton Holmes.
Yeah.
And they call him Clint. They call him Clint.
But that's this is really bizarre.
I know, it's weird.
The two
but
of you are. Tell me about Freckles. She has a wonderful show called Freckles.
Freckled for life.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I did get to perform that in New York. Now it's the Metropolitan Room is closed, but I was there and at the Carlisle. And it's kind of what we're talking about with Clint. It's my story.
Yeah.
And the influences like Carol Burnett or the things that made a lot of
Is it
people.
a one-woman show?
It's a one-woman show, and it's kind of my journey and through health kind of challenges and a lot of funny. And then some song and just my story and why I wanted to do this. And Carol's involved in the story. She doesn't know it, but I know.
Do you know that one time I sent her my picture because this is how beautiful a person she is. She did a show, a song about popularity that was on her show, and I said, I love that song. Can I have that song? I want that song. She sent me the song.
Wow.
And she says, if your picture, I had like a headshot I sent. I was like young. You know, this was way before New York, and I was in Florida at the time. She says, if your looks match your talent, you have no problem at all.
Nice.
She was so kind.
Really
I still have
kind.
the music that she sent. What star does that today?
I know, and I actually had the opportunity to meet her 2 different times, but the first time it was not
Phantom. The opening
Phantom,
of Phantom.
the opening of Phantom here in Vegas, and Clint said, you know, your idol's going to be there because she is Hal Prince's very good friend. So, long story short, too late for that. I was like, don't say anything stupid. I kept telling myself, because I have wigged out before when I met Gladys Knight, who's my favorite singer. Very nice to meet you. And I just said my name, and then I was quiet. And then I went, oh my God, you have to tell her, you have to tell her. And I said, Carol Burnett, you're the reason. She was sitting. I said, you're the reason I'm an entertainer. And she reached up and put her hand on my cheek and pulled it down to hers and said, thank you for telling me that. And she had like watery eyes, and I was so thrilled because I was like, how wonderful it was for her to say it meant anything to her.
She
has
touched your life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was really a dream come true. And I hope to work with her someday.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You continue on being
You
zany.
never know. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That show that they have at Alexis
Park.
Park is just, I've seen it 3 times, and every time my mouth is from here to here. I'm smiling from ear to ear because these girls are crazy. Along with being talented, they're very, very, very funny, and the audience goes wild because we don't have any live entertainment anymore in Las Vegas, hardly. And you are just a wonderful,
Thank
you know.
I love working with, thank you. I
Yeah,
love
with
working
Elisa.
with
Well,
Elisa
she's your
Fierro.
friend too, right?
She's my very good friend, and she worked with Prince, and she was on Broadway, and she was on Star Search. She's an amazing vocalist and a fun partner.
What a
And
voice.
She always says yes to any of my
What a
zany
voice.
ideas.
So have you worked with Clint in his show?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
many
sure.
times.
Yeah.
You know, people do say to us sometimes, "Are you guys ever going to do a show together?" You know, and then immediately I get Sonny and Cher, and I go,
Right.
no.
But we like to work together.
Oh, we love working together,
yeah,
but
we just,
we've never done, here's a show that's
Right.
us. We may do that.
we may
though.
do that.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. But you know, you want to go home and you want to tell your partner about what happened at work.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't say, that Clint really got on my nerves today. Or go, that Kelly.
That's a good idea.
You know
What
what's
do you-
funny?
what?
You know what's funny? Because about doing a 2-people show.
Yeah.
I just did one in New York with Billy Stritch. You know
Yes,
Billy?
of course.
Now Billy is basically behind. I don't even know if I told you this. Maybe I did.
At Birdland. We
At
forgot to
Bird-
say
Birdland.
Clint plays no name clubs, Birdland.
Well, but Billy plays piano and sings. That's the thing. But in this show, he's out front with me, right? I mean, we're standing most of the show, we're up front, and I'm used to being right there in the middle of the stage. So after the first show, Johnny Valenti, who owns the club, came up to me and he says, you know, you're standing in the middle and Billy's over here. And I told Billy he should push you when you're, and I said, am I doing that? And so the second show,
That's
you know,
funny.
Billy kept going like this,
Yeah.
this, and I'm sorry, I'd move over. But yeah, those
No,
are the things
you have to
figure
adjust
out,
because
yeah.
I'm used to being in the middle too. And so I find myself going like this with Elisa, like you're standing back too far and I'm turning my head. But I just said, gotta come up, let's go up a little further. You have to adjust the stage.
Sure you do.
We love working with each other. We love
But it's
working
funny.
with other people
It's
too.
funny if you push her out of the way. I think those
No,
things
I want
are
to push
funny.
her
Those
in
are
the
funny.
way.
I really do.
I want to push her in the way. Because she's back.
You have a bit. Kelly has a bit where she's doing, well, you know, Boney Maroney, the Italian guy.
Oh, but
who I
it's
happen
not
to
Boney
love.
Maroney, but
Well,
it's
I
a
know. What do
lovely
you call
version
that
of the name.
character?
It's Jojo Spaghetti Moretti.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
actually my grandfather, my uncle, my cousins. That's their
Yeah.
name, Joe Moretti. So I
So you have
created.
JoJo is also your
And then
your
that's why
dog's
Clint
name.
said, why don't we name our girl JoJo after your character?
How funny.
So it's a combination of people I've known in my life.
Yeah.
And of
Well,
yeah, the people who have helped me along the way. and
let's talk
some
about the
people I grew up
eyebrows.
with.
Can we talk about the eyebrows? You have no idea what
That's not
happens during-
JoJo Spaghetti though.
Yeah.
That's
No, you have Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
She has a character, Neil Diamond, where the eyebrows fall off all the time in the middle of a song. Is that planned?
You know what? It happened in the moment. It was one of those things where, first of all, we're running around like crazy. We're sweating. We're glistening. Girls glisten.
Right.
And so one night, when we first did the bit, it fell off. And then the next time, both of them fell off. Then when I dried them too much and they didn't come off, it wasn't as funny. So I just let the sweat happen, and it turned out to be a big part of the bit. And Elisa sounds just like Barbara Streisand.
Yes, yes.
And then she's got the big. Anyway, you have to come see it.
I know, it's a wonderful show. Please
fun.
make
I've
sure
only
to
seen
go.
it once because I've been away. So I can't wait
Because
till
let's talk about your tours. I mean, Clint, you are never here. Besides playing at the Smith Center once a month, but here in Las Vegas, very prestigious place to go, and you sell out all the time. You play a club called Birdland, but it's the new Birdland, isn't it?
I've played both, but yeah, they
Remember the
opened a
old
theater
one?
down. Well, it's the same place.
The
It's
same place on
upstairs is Birdland,
52nd
and
or
downstairs
something?
they built a theater. So
Oh,
it's the same,
okay.
same walk in the same door.
wonderful. Okay.
It depends on you go upstairs or downstairs.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, very much like the Smith Center. Would
yeah.
you say it's like cabaret jazz, like Myron's?
Oh,
Oh, you mean
very
it's
much
that
so.
big, that nightclub?
It's not that big,
It's not
but
as
it has
big.
that
Okay,
vibe.
yeah.
It's beautiful. So the first 2 or 3 times I played Birdland, I played in Birdland proper, and the last 3 times I've played,
Yeah.
I played downstairs.
Yeah, and
It's
you
a
have a
wonderful
residency there.
I have a residency, yeah. I've been there every month this year, and I'll be there next month, and then probably not in the summer. I'll be at Dizzy's at Lincoln Center Jazz in the summer, and then I'll be back at Birdland in the fall. So
Clint works all over the world, and you know, I hate to talk about aging because nobody wants to talk about aging, but we don't think about aging because you're as, we really don't,
Yeah.
because you're as young as you feel, and look how vital everybody is, and we're not 20, we're not millennials, and we're going to keep going until it's
That's
over.
right.
well,
That's right.
I had breakfast with a bunch of my friends this morning, Earl
Yeah.
Turner and Antonio
Yeah.
and Jerry Metellus, and Jerry
Yeah.
Metellus said, somebody said to him the other day, "You're at the top of your game," and Jerry said, "No, I'm not. I'm still heading that way.
I love
I'm
it.
still
There
going
you go.
towards
Yeah.
the top of my game."
That's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
because that's the way you have to think.
Well, when you do what
Yeah.
you love, it's a lot easier
Right.
to feel great because you're passionate. So
You're young, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
well,
Right, yes.
I'm
So
young in
young.
like some circles, like, not very often anymore.
But this is your passion,
This is my passion.
and we're on your first show.
Yes, you are.
We're
You are.
honored.
We're the first
I love
guest.
talk shows because I like to interview people and find out who they are apart from the resume. You know, everybody has a life, you're a real person, and people out there like to know who they are instead of the resumes.
Sure.
Right.
Who are you?
We are JoJo's parents.
We're JoJo's mom and dad.
And I must say, before we leave, Kelly, Kelly has the Arthritis Foundation that you're very close
Yes.
with.
Yes.
So we'd like to support charities on this show. Tell us
Yes.
a little bit.
Well, I don't talk about it too often, but I do have rheumatoid arthritis, and I've had it since I'm 23 years old.
Really?
So I understand the challenges of it. I'm doing great. I have a medicinal cocktail that, you know, so there are lots of things you can do to feel better. And so
You
I
mean
have,
cannabis?
oh, I haven't
medicinal?
I haven't done that for that reason.
Oh.
I did it in my 20s.
Well, when you say medicinal cocktail,
I mean anti-inflammatory drugs,
Oh,
the
oh, oh.
latest kind of drugs that are
like
help,
Advil or something like that.
No,
No, beyond that.
a
A
lot
little
more
worse.
serious than
Oh, okay,
that.
okay.
But with the combination of exercise and rest and lots of, and doing what you love and having friends and
You'd
people
never
to talk
know
to.
it. You
and-
would never
Yeah.
know
Isn't
this
that the
girl.
truth?
Never.
And
never
I'm
know
very-
she's
I
on
get
it.
to see it at home sometimes.
He gets to have, and thank you, good night to the audience, and then I go, oh, I gotta take these shoes off.
Yeah.
But I think that's anybody after 4
Yes, it
hours
is.
of high heels.
Trust me.
But so
Even sneakers.
right after too long.
Absolutely.
But I'm passionate about it because I really understand it, and I have much empathy, and a lot of people aren't able to get into the place that I'm in now. But to knowing you're not alone and talking about it with other people that understand it, and so
Yeah.
I'm a big part of that.
Right.
Clint has an amazing charity that he
We're talking about.
created.
Artists
yeah.
for Kids. We
Yeah.
work with.
Would you share that with us?
Well, yeah, it's through the school district here, and we go into the schools. I go into the schools and mentor kids
Oh,
in the
good.
arts.
Good.
And it's not just kids who are going to be performers or artists. It's more so that kids aren't intimidated by going to see a symphony orchestra or are afraid of going to see a Broadway show, or you
Good.
know, so that kids can grow up and appreciate the arts.
That's
especially in
wonderful.
situations where
See?
they may not be able to
Right.
to go so much. But so yeah, that's one of my passions. Definitely.
So you see, when you see either of these performers on stage, remember they have a real life. outside of being on stage, and just enjoy every minute of their talent, because I know I do. And I want to thank you very much for watching. And if you see any of us out there, please go out and pay it forward. Support whatever you feel you want to support, because everybody needs help.
Yeah.
So go out there, be loving, kind, and appreciative. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, Clint
Thank
and
you.
Kelly.
Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay. President Trump. And you know, I have a bone to pick with you. What's about this Pakakta wall?
The wall.
What kind of a wall?
Listen. Here's the thing with the wall. This is a tremendous wall.
It's a tremendous wall?
It's going to be an incredible wall, beautiful.
Everything's
But the
tremendous.
Democrats, you liberal people,
Yes.
you won't give me a
What?
wall along the southern border. Okay, you say it's medieval. I don't care if it's early evil, medieval, late evil. I don't care about the style.
Who's
Just give me
going
the
to pay
wall.
for this wall?
Mexico's going to pay
Oh,
for
yeah,
it.
I heard
Mexico's
that
going to
before.
pay for it. We got to build it first, and they're going to give us the money.
But you have said that forever,
But no one's
Mexico's
giving
gonna
me the wall. I had to go to Nancy Pelosi's office
Yes.
on Capitol Hill, which I
Yes.
never do.
Yes.
Went up to her office, right? I go inside. Guess what she has in her office?
What?
Walls. She has walls, and I'm not allowed to have walls. It's very unfair. That's how the liberals work. Liberals work. Very unfair. Very unfair. But you know what's a great wall?
What?
China. China's a great
China
wall.
has a great wall.
Xi
It's the Great
Jinping.
Wall of China.
That's right. It's a
Well, at
great
least
wall of
it's
China. You
one
can see it from
feet.
space. You can see it from
President Trump
space.
said the Great Wall of China.
That's right, the Great Wall of China. And
Okay.
guess what? I talked to Xi Jinping.
Really?
He's the
Can
Prime
you say that
Minister.
faster?
Xi Jinping.
Okay.
Xi Jinping. I don't know
Okay.
why you put an X in your kid's name.
Okay.
Who would do that to a child? I don't know. But I talked to Xi.
You actually made me laugh, President
Thank you.
Trump.
See, I'm very personable. You knew that. You knew me back from your previous day.
Personable?
Very personable.
Oh, please.
People love me. I'm charming. Have you seen some of the women I've been with? Beautiful, beautiful
Oh my
women.
God,
You gotta
Melania,
be-
Melania.
Melania.
Oh, but you screwed, what's his name?
Marla.
But not only Marla. You're the
Marla.
first wife to Ivanka.
Ivana.
You want to
No,
screw
Ivana.
your daughter yet?
You make it sound like it's bad. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Just because something in the Bible about it, you know what I mean? It's terrible.
It's the first time I'm laughing at President Trump.
You see that,
Because
too.
I've had it.
Whoa. I am not colorblind. I know the world is black and white. Try to keep an open mind, but I just can't sleep on this tonight. Stop this train. I wanna get off and go home again. I just can't take the speed it's moving in. I know I can't. So honestly, won't someone stop this train? I don't know how else to say it. I don't wanna see my parents go. One generation's length away from fighting life out on my own.